Hi there, welcome back to what is essentially part 2 of our Nintex 5-minute solution. This is the trace side of track and trace for COVID-19. Now, some of the government requirements to reopen, and as we start to go back to what is a new normality, is that we're registering our visit of particular locations, whether that be offices, whether that be restaurants, whether that be shops, and then what happens once we need to go back and contact those people is effectively the trace side. So we've already built the tracking side, real quick form. We tied that up to a QR code and we've pushed that into a SharePoint list. So we've ticked that part off. If you missed that part, click on the link that's in the video now. And the second part is the trace side. So what happens if the Department of Health or the government tell me that on the 9th of June, somebody that was in my office has been identified as being symptomatic, and we need to tell everybody else that was there that they need to go and get tested. So I got my SharePoint list, really easy stuff, just grabbing some information about the people that visited the office on particular days. And what I want to do now is run through the workflow. So I've chosen to use a start event called component workflow on this. It turns the workflow into a web service. Essentially, it can be called from custom web applications. It can be started manually. It can be called from Nintex RPA. I just find that this was probably the easiest way to jump in and kick this one off. And I only have one variable that I'm passing one start event. It could be a form that if I created it with just the date visited, which is my required field. It's then going to query that underlying SharePoint list, and it's going to look for any of the entries where the date visited matches the date that I've requested, and it's going to pull them back into the workflow. And then for each of those entries, we're going to run through a retrieve. So we're going to pull back information, phone number, name, and the date that they visited. And finally, we're going to send them an SMS using the Twilio Nintex action. So we're going to take the phone number that's been retrieved from SharePoint, which was provided when they scanned the QR code. We're going to add their name just so we know who we're targeting. And then we've got some plain English around the notification. And it's going to tell them that they were in the office on the same day that somebody that was infected was in. And it's probably a good idea to go get tested. So we'll run that. I could run it here through workflow testing if I want to watch an instance. Okay, so component workflow, I can manually start this from my list of workflows. Now I'm going to pick the 9th because I visited on the 9th. It's tied into my mobile number, so we can just kick that one off. So the 9th and start. Workflow successfully started. Let's go to the Instances tab just to make sure that it is running fine. Running now. So we'll have a look at the instance start data. It should only really be providing the date, which was the 9th. And we're running through some actions. So we're querying that list. We're running through the loop. We're going down through format date to string, send an SMS. This workflow is already completed. So if I go to my emulator now, go full screen, I can open up, or let's just scroll down here. Here's my SMS that's been received. Let's open that up. It's got my name from the provided information, and then it's got that plain English. So I'm now going to go and get tested as a result of being notified that I was in the office at the same time as somebody who had the infection. Nice quick solution. Thanks for watching.